Hello and welcome back to our channel. Here we give you the best travel advice so that you can plan your travels well. We have been full-time travel content creators for the past few years, and before that we were in a vicious cycle of work, save, travel, repeat, so we know what it takes to make your travel dreams come true. In this video we're going to cover the beautiful North Island of New Zealand, featuring our top 7 destinations that we enjoyed on our recent trip. This is certainly a special one for me because I grew up in Taranaki and I spent my youth exploring the island with my family and friends. So in no particular order, let's get into it. Starting off with the quirky capital city of Wellington, we are geographically located at the southern end of the North Island. This city is famous for its persistent strong winds which sweep across the waterfront and down streets and laneways between houses and buildings. But there is more to see here than people's hats and umbrellas being blown away. The weather here in the summer can be an absolute dream, and locals flock to the beaches, of which there is a huge selection. In the city centre, the most popular beach has got to be Oriental Bay, but don't miss Ballina Bay or Evans Bay, only a short ferry ride away. If you want something more rugged, then take a drive down to the south coast. Less than 15 minutes away, you could be surfing in Lyall Bay, or a bit further and you could be sunbathing naked on the naturist beach Breaker Bay. The Miramar Peninsula offers dozens of opportunities for secret coves and rock pools to explore, with views to Pencarrow Lighthouse. If you want to see some wildlife, then you could take a 4x4 or walk around to Red Rocks from Island Bay and try your luck at seal spotting. The resident colony of seals can be spotted here in winter, and sometimes there's even a couple of stragglers in the summer. Wellington is also home to the arts. I'm sure you are well aware of the Lord of the Rings films, which premiered with red carpet down the main street of Courtenay Place. As well as that, you have New Zealand's National Museum Te Papa, only a stone's throw away, with an incredible exhibition made by Peter Jackson's Weta Workshop, which shares stories of the Gallipoli campaign in World War I from 8 ordinary New Zealanders modelled at 2.4 times the size of a normal human. In terms of outdoors, Wellington is surrounded by greenery, to the point where town planners in the 1800s actually granted a town belt of land that was not to be developed on and encircles the city, providing locals and visitors with an abundance of green space to walk, ponder, and enjoy for generations to come. Wellington is a very active city, and if you spend any time walking along any of the coastal paths, you will come to learn that Wellingtonians love exercise. Running, walking, and cycling are all a part of daily life here, and if you can brave the winds, you can easily join one of the many weekly running clubs in different parts of the city. One of the more untouched regions in the North Island, Taranaki lies on the western peninsula, pronounced by the beautiful symmetrical volcano Mount Taranaki. Surrounding this mountain is a ring of protected national park land where kiwis roam and native bush is abundant. There are walks and climbs all over the mountain, offering all abilities the chance to experience the serene nature while paying respects to the traditional custodians of the land. We should note that if you are attempting to climb this mountain on a visit to the region, then you should be prepared to miss the opportunity due to the weather. We visited in summer and we were lucky to get to the top, but if you watch our summit climb video, you will see how quickly conditions can change and the importance of planning ahead, changing the plan if conditions change, and bringing appropriate gear. Taranaki has grown in popularity over the years for those looking to live a more simple life outside of the major cities. The largest city has a population of less than 100,000 people, and with a density of 40 people per square kilometre, you can see what the appeal is. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have a lot going on. One of the biggest events of the year is at the highly acclaimed Pukekura Park, which lights up every year for the Festival of Lights. The festival is a free event from mid-December to late January and has music, food, and best of all, incredible light installations from local and international artists. If you visit outside of the festival season, you should still visit Pukekura Park for the incredible show of biodiversity and the enjoyment of walking amongst giant trees, around lakes, and in greenhouses. Taranaki also offers some of the best surfing in the country, with the surf highway taking you to all of the local secret spots around the coast. Being a volcanic region, you might notice that the sand is distinctly black, which adds to the allure and ethereal nature of the landscape. Every year, surf competitions are held in the region, and this laid-back surf lifestyle comes through in the form of healthy cafes, a thriving wellness scene, and plenty of incredible retreats and Airbnbs to choose from for your stay. Heading east, we discover a geothermal active region around the city of Rotorua. Here you can choose to soak in ancient muds and mineral-rich waters, or you can get your heart racing at one of the many adrenaline-pumping activities. Our advice would be to do both. Enjoy a morning of adrenaline-pumping luging, skydiving, bungee jumping, or whitewater rafting, and then book into one of the naturally heated geothermal spas for an afternoon of relaxation and restorative treatments. During our visit, we got to visit both the oldest and the newest spas in town and would recommend a visit to at least one if you like the idea of a pamper session. If you want to get out more in nature, then something else we would recommend is spending some time in the Whakarewarewa forest. You can meander through this incredible 55,000 hectare forest at ground level, or you can opt to take it up a notch and explore the Redwoods Tree Walk. This is an awesome experience for all ages, and you can choose to explore through the day or at night with incredible light installations along the tree walk. Rotorua is a very popular holiday destination for Kiwis as well as international visitors, and so there are a lot of experiences to take part in around the city. You can go on a lake cruise, head up to Skyline for luging, mountain biking, or just a gondola. Alternatively, you could visit one of the Māori villages nearby, which offer an insight into the traditional culture of the local people of the region. No visit to the North Island is complete without a stop off in the Coromandel Peninsula. Located only a 2.5-hour drive from Auckland, it is well worth a visit. With more geothermal activity to experience, waterfalls galore, a buzzing art scene, and pristine beaches. One of the standout destinations has to be the aptly named Hot Water Beach, where you can dig a bath in the sand that will fill with naturally heated mineral water from deep within the earth. We got to spend a sunset here during low tide, and we watched the surfers catch waves while we enjoyed the mix of hot and cold water filling our pool. You are able to camp nearby if you want to stay longer, and for digging you can rent shovels at a number of the nearby businesses. Definitely pay a visit to the local town of Hahei as well. This is the gateway to exploring the picturesque Cathedral Cove, which has been under some uncertainty in recent times due to instability in the land from past storms. If hiking is more your thing, then you won't go without in Coromandel, with some notable treks including the Coromandel Coastal Walkway, Karangahake Gorge, and the Pinnacles Trail. There's an incredible story to be told of an engineer who relinquished the opportunities he was given in exchange for a life as a potter. His name was Barry Brickell, and he left a life in Auckland to build a place where makers could come for the residency program he offered. The Driving Creek Railway is New Zealand's only mountain railway, and truly a unique experience to check out if you're in the area. Once at the top of the railway, you will have sweeping views over the bays and the islands around Coromandel from the Eiffel Tower, and here you can learn more about the fascinating character Barry Brickell. Most trips to New Zealand begin with a flight into the largest city in the country, Auckland. With a population of over 1.5 million residents, the city sprawls out around the central focus, the Auckland Harbour. We had a stay near Viaduct Harbour in the Wynyard Quarter and found it to be a great option within walking distance to the main attractions without being right in the midst of the CBD. The iconic Sky Tower stands proud in the city centre and pierces through the skyline, viewable from anywhere in the city. There are a few ways to experience the Sky Tower. You can visit the viewing platform at the top, which certainly does offer incredible views. You can also dine at the Orbit 360 restaurant or visit the Sky Bar, New Zealand's highest bar. They offer a skywalk where you can walk around the outside of the Sky Tower, or in true New Zealand style, you can also opt for the fast way down once you're up there. The Sky Jump is a controlled descent fall from the observation deck to the ground level on the outside of the tower at speeds of up to 85 kilometers per hour. Leaving the CBD, there are many great little pockets of Auckland to explore. The North Shore is full of secret coves, great beaches, and a thriving cafe scene. There are old military gun forts to explore, and you can get amazing views out to Rangitoto Island, Auckland's youngest and largest dormant volcanic cone. Speaking of, there are 53 volcanic centres around Auckland, many of which you can climb. One that we would recommend in particular is Mount Eden. While it can be steep, it's relatively accessible for all with an unguarded boardwalk around the crater that allows for uninterrupted views in all directions from the summit. Another suburb not to miss is Ponsonby, particularly if you like boutique shopping and trendy eateries. There are heaps to choose from in this elevated position near the CBD and a very popular place to be spotted on the weekends. If you want to see a full review of some of the cafes and restaurants we visited during our stay in Auckland, be sure to go and check out Charlotte's other channel, which is much more food focused. While the next destination is not very big, if you're a fan of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, then you are not going to want to miss this on your New Zealand itinerary. We are taking you to the wonderful fantasy village of Hobbiton. Originally discovered as a filming location on the Alexander's Farm, Peter Jackson and the team first built and then deconstructed most of the set after the filming of the Lord of the Rings film series. However, when filming The Hobbit in 2009, the set was built in a more permanent fashion, and today you can visit 44 Hobbit holes, the Green Dragon Inn, and even go behind the door in one of the Hobbit houses on Bagshot Row. This was definitely one of the highlights of New Zealand for us and really showcases the beauty to be found in the landscape. If you're a superfan, you might opt for one of the banquet tours, a private tour, or if you're local and are planning an event, they also offer some of the spaces for that too. During the tour, you will learn all about the history of the location, how it was discovered, and why it had been selected as one location instead of what was initially intended to be multiple locations around New Zealand. This spot just has it all. Not too far away from Hobbiton is one of New Zealand's favourite summertime destinations. It's Mount Maunganui. Consistently voted as one of the best beaches in New Zealand, this North Island beach destination is a must-do when visiting in the summer. Located in the Bay of Plenty, just across the bridge from Tauranga is a sand-lined peninsula capped with the volcanic dome named Mawo. In Māori, the name means caught by the morning sun, and if you make it to the summit for sunrise, you will not be disappointed. With views back over the land as well as the ocean, you're sure to fall in love with this place like we did when we visited. The cafe scene here is quite good, and while we didn't get to try it all, we know that what we did try was some of the best cafe food that we had ever had. They also have a lively food truck scene down by the main beach, which is where you will spend most of your time. Wandering barefoot in the sand or cruising down the boardwalk, which runs down most of the length of the beach. Here you can hire surfboards and snorkels or explore Leisure Island, which you can actually walk to from the main beach. If you're planning a trip to the Mount for summer, just make sure you book ahead because it's such a popular destination that you may struggle to find accommodation if you book too late. There are a range of options to suit all budgets from backpackers to full apartments, but when we stayed we had luck with a little unit that we found on Airbnb. And that brings our North Island Top 7 to a close. We hope that you found it useful for planning your trip to New Zealand. Be sure to check out our full guides to each of the destinations, which will be linked in the description below, and check out our 7 must-visit destinations in the South Island for all your South Island plans. If we missed anything in this video, then let us know in the comments below. We're always up for learning about new places. And if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe for more travel adventures here and further afield. Thanks for watching.